So whenever we are going for the multi-level, then you have to think before of that some of the parent class will be there, actually grandparent, and then from there you have to extend that, is it? So if we write some classes, like what? Suppose, okay, I am writing some of the animal so that it can be extended easily. So class, okay, so class animal with some basic properties. Previous day we have probably written, na? Okay, wait. কোথায় লিখেছিলাম দাঁড়াও, খুঁজে পাচ্ছি না। Animal, yes. Okay, probably I have written this one. Class animal. Mm, this one. Uh, this is the constructor. I'm the constructor animal. अच्छा, ये सारे हटा दे रहा हूँ. Get habitat, get legs. not दे रहा हूँ. Get habitat. Okay. So I put only this one. So this is for the animal. Okay. So the animal 2. Sorry. Okay. So now I am writing another class. So I want to extend that. Okay. So suppose class from animal to mm, carnivorous, uh, carnivorous first. Can you see? Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Extends animal 2. So there we can inherit all the properties, and along with this it can be more some of the properties. Suppose I am writing only the methods, that is the behaviors actually. So what? But food habit like this.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Save. Next.
PM class.
Mm. Mm. सुन ऐसे कुछ uh, हाँ,
Yeah.
like this. Okay. So this is one. So from this animal, actually there is a one another class animal. So I have changed it animal two. So that's uh, animal two is a grand friend where from I have extends this one to carnivorous, and from there wolf I have created. Okay. So properties will be inherited. Now we are for the test. So I am here testing purpose. So class test inherit test inheritance where I have to create the object of the last one. What? Hello? Are you saying something?
Oh, sir, somebody is watching TV.
What? Okay, if you are saying something, you write your message. Okay, like this. Dot. Now, first of all, in the animal too, there is a method get habitat. So I want to check this one first. Get habitat. Now save it. Test inheritance. Before of that, you have to compile all the files so that the class file will be generated. Animal to probably I have done that. Next is carnivorous, wolf. No, now see. So this is the output. I am within constructor of animal. So as because this was a constructor was there. So whenever I have created the object of wool, so first of all, which constructor will be called? No, you know the previous day I have already said that first of all the constructor of all the superclass, the extreme superclass constructor will be executed first. Is it? Though it will call its own constructor, but this will not execute it. But before of that, if you have written explicitly the super method, then it will go for the superclass constructor. But if you have not mentioned that one also, then it will go to the upper inheritance tree, up to the inheritance tree, and execute the superclass constructor. And if this there's I have only written for the animal, the constructor I have already put it for the animal too. That's why only this constructor has executed. But if I put another constructor, suppose I am copying it one and put it into the carnivorous, that's because the after this animal 2 there is this class is inherit the property. So here I am putting another constructor for this one carnivorous, and I am using constructor of carnivorous. I am putting it one. Now check it. This one I have now compile this one and sorry, run. So you can see that first of all I am within the constructor of animal. So obviously this is the super class of all the other classes. So this is the animal. This constructor will be executed. Then it will come back to the carnivorous class and it will execute the constructor of that carnivorous. And after that, if I write any constructor for this wolf class, then it will be executed. Okay. So these are the process. So this process actually called what? This is called the constructor chaining. Yes, you can write this one. This is called the constructor chaining. So whenever this is called, so how it will be executed? Now, first of all, it will use the stack. You know this concept of stack, I think. So whenever the wolf object will be created, that is in the inheritance test inheritance, whenever I am creating the object of wolf w1, so it will immediately call the constructor of wolf class, but it will not execute it at that moment and it will be resides in the topmost element within the stack. So obviously stack is previously stack was empty, so it will be put it in the very bottom of the stack. Okay, now it will go for the its parent class. So previously it will go for the wolf class. So wolf class parent class is the carnivorous. So it will go for the carnivorous and it will again check that whether this class is extends from the other classes or not. So if it is already extends from the other classes, so this constructor will not execute it, but it will be put it in the top of the stack. So previously it was the wolf class constructor, then up the carnivorous constructor will be put it in the top of this, and next it will go for the animal class. Okay, and again it will put it this one. Okay, then it will check that whether there is any another class before of that or not. So animal is not extending the properties from the other classes. Okay, so now it will be clear that there is no other class. So now in the stack, what are the different constructor methods constructor are there? So first of all, the constructor of animal, topmost element. After that, the carnivorous, and then at the last, the wolf class constructor will be there. Then it will start to execute. So which constructor will be executed? So obviously the animal 2 constructor is the first one at the topmost element. So it will be executed first. Okay, it will be executed. So one by one it will be executed and it will go on until the empty of the stack again. That's it. So this process is called the constructor chain. Is it? This is like a chain reaction. So that's why this is known as the constructor chaining. This is an important question.
Good afternoon, sir.
Can you understand?
Alok, are you asking the question?
No. Is there any question from you? Is there any question?
No, sir.
Okay. And who is this? फिर से coronavirus आया. Who is this?
यार काम हो
Okay.
Oh,
Hmm. Okay. So is this clear? No? Hmm. Now we are going to the method overriding, right? So method overriding what? Now suppose you have already did some of the method in a parent class, but still you want something different, right? So suppose get habit this one, and this has said that I live in forest. So this is animal, but still if I create another one. Suppose I am creating another one. Suppose class horse. The extends extends suppose the universe. Here I have created, and in the animal tool, you can see that there is a method read. So, but for the dog one, I need the different as because the dog is not in the forest, technically resides in our home. So I leave him home and writing it. I am changing it.
वो क्यों रहा है?
The background and noise is coming. Okay. So I have put it one method. We have it. Still, this was in the animal too, but still I am writing the same method in the dog class. Okay. And I am compiling it. Okay. And in the wolf class, I am creating. Sorry, in the test inheritance, I am creating the object of this dog. So dog d1 equal to dog. This one, and I am calling d1 dot that the okay. So you can see that it's showing that I am using constructor of animal, I am using constructor of carnivore, so whatever. So this was I have already explained, and next time this is showing that I live in home. That's what. That through this method, this get habitat is there in the animal to class get habitat, and it is saying that I live in forest. But it may be that some of the properties you are inheriting from some of the other classes, but the behavior you want to change. It may be that the animal, the dog is also an animal, so it can inherit the properties, but it may be some of the properties something it should be changed. So according to your requirement, it should. So then what you will do? You can reassign that you are redeploying the same method and in its class so that we can execute that without going further to the parent class. So whenever you are creating the object of one, so this object and you are calling the method, first of all it will check its inputs. D1 dot get happening, so D1 is here, so it will check the dot of this same name or not. If it is there, then it will execute that particular method. And if it is not found, then only it will go for the other classes, that is its parent class, after its parent class. Okay, so that is this method. If it is available in this same class, then okay, then it will be executed here. Otherwise, this will go upwards to the inheritance tree to search that particular method. And still, if it is not found, then obviously you will encounter some of the error. Okay. That whether this method can be override or not. This is the override process. Overriding. This is the previously I have already explained the concept of what overloading. Is it? So overloading is happened when the same main method is presents with different of their number of arguments, type of arguments, and the order of their arguments, right? Now here, this is the process of method overriding. So when only the overriding process is happened when there is an inheritance concept. That is the previously that same method is already available, but still you want something different with the same name. Then only it will be overridden. Otherwise, if the name is different, is it? So then it will not means obviously whenever you are calling with a different name, so it will be executed on that particular method. So there is no concept of overriding then. But if the name is same and you are that is the method name is not available, then it will go upwards and search for that. Is it? Now check that whenever I am writing, that is the public. So if I do is private, the private things is not will not inherited. Okay.
Sir,
Hmm.
can you just explain that extends keyword once again?
Extends mean it will extends the property. That is, whenever you are writing extend, suppose I am writing the class carnivorous. Can you see? Can you see the window? So here I am writing. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So here I have written the class carnivorous extends animal too. So that is extends mean it will inherit the properties from the animal too. Okay.
Hmm. Okay, sir.
Acha, Ronnie. Who is Ronnie? Can you recognize? Annotation request. Ronnie is requesting to annotate the shared content. Who is that? You know any students of our department? His name is Ronnie.
No, sir, ignore, sir.
Okay, so ignore them, na?
Yes, sir, ignore.
Okay. Okay. So next, whenever we are writing the dog class, then we are extending the dog extends the carnivorous. That is the all the properties of carnivorous. Obviously, these properties must be shareable. Otherwise, you cannot means inheritable. Otherwise, these properties cannot be inherited. And this class dog extends the carnivorous. That means the properties from the carnivorous which are inheritable will be inherited to the dog. So is it? So that is, but another thing is that whenever there is in some of the properties, suppose your grandparent is there or grandparent wants to give you some of the things. That is, suppose there is an old car, suppose there is an old jewelry, right? Like this. But he wants that okay, you can take the old home or home one flat is there, you can take it, but old car, there is an old car, and he does not want to give you uh, give you to. So whenever you are trying to inherit the property, so it must be granted that okay, you can inherit that property. Otherwise, you cannot get it. So that there is a provision that who can get it or what is the inheritable property. So whenever there is a private property, that means that is not inheritable. Or if you write in uh, final, if you are writing a final class, that is if you write a class with a specific that is a final, that means you cannot extend or you cannot inherit the property. That's it. So sometimes you suppose you have written a class and you want that nobody can inherit my property. So then you can create that restrictions by using the final class. Okay, clear. So there. So here I am I have tried to extend the property from the gate habitat, and gate habitat is already there in the animal class, but this is in a private. Is it clear? So whenever there is a private, that means you cannot override this method. Is it? If it is only the public method, then only you can override. Otherwise, if it is a private one, that means you cannot override this one. So that's why this error is showing that this class does not have the static void main method except in string or whatever. This way. Actually, another probably wrong things I am doing. This one. Yeah. I have no. Actually, there is no public static void main. Okay. Acha, change it as final also. Final. So this one. So final. So this one is whenever you are trying to inherit, that is override the method, it is showing that gate habitat in dog cannot override this gate habitat in animal too, as because overridden method is a final. Right? So not the private, actually final. So final, if it is a final method, then you cannot override that method. Is it clear? Okay. And so okay, we will just alter this one as a public void. Okay. And this. Uh, hmm. Okay. Now, if I write suppose d1 dot food, so this one is the food. Okay. If you want to access. Actually, two application. What is this? Null. Okay. And another was food. So, okay. So here I'm writing.
गाना सुनाई दे रहा
ये कौन है? Yeah.
है गाना कौन गा रहा है यार
Okay. So here is another thing that is in the animal 2 I have declared two variable. One is a private variable and another is not mentioned, that is a public. Okay. So private int number of legs equal to 4 I have declared here, and another is a string food. So this string food I have initialized it by the constructor of this animal 2 class is by the unknown. Okay. Clear? Okay. Next, whenever you can inherit that property. So if you want to directly access, that one, so this must be a public one. Otherwise, you cannot access. So if it is a private one, then you cannot. So here, the number of legs, actually number of legs I have declared by the private one. So here, whenever you are trying to inherit, so here the error is showing the number of legs has a private access in animal 2. So actually there is an access specifier, there is separate topic is there. So whenever we'll cover it, it will be more clearer. Okay. So for the time being, you can remember that if it is a public, then you can directly or you can easily access them from the outside of this class. Is it? So previously, whenever we have started, we have till that the concept of encapsulation. So what is the concept of encapsulation? That encapsulation means to protect it from the outside world. So what is the outside world? So that is the very confusing. Before now it should be clear. That is outside world means that is there is a class of animal 2, and outside world means the outside from this class, is it? So outside class, this suppose I am accessing it from the dog. So whenever I am accessing it from the dog or from the carnivorous, that is the carnivorous is extending the animal to, that means from the outside world we are trying to access that. from the dog we are trying to access that in an indirect way. And whenever we are creating the object of that, using the object of that, we are trying to access that private variables. So whenever there is a private property, you cannot access. That is the restrictions we may put that. Put there, that is to protect from the changes of that. So if you allow this one, it may be changed. Is it? Any other constructor, it may be changed. But if you want that, okay, no, this property must not be changed, is it? And it should not be accessed directly from the outside world. Then you may want to put the private. Any question? Hello, hello. Are you there?
Continue, sir.
Okay, so sound is not coming. That's why I'm asking.
I am
Okay,
muted.
okay, okay. Next is the same thing you can see. That is whenever we have created the dog and the wolf. Okay, so that means there are two separate class. Is it? Two separate class is sharing the same class from the animal. So animal is a parent class. You can assume that animal is the super class. Is it super class? And from there carnivorous is another class where from the dog is inheriting the property from the carnivorous and wolf is also inheriting the property from the carnivorous. So this is like in hierarchical way. So there are how many types of inheritance are there? So one is the single inheritance, next is the multi-level inheritance, is it? And another is the hierarchical way. So hierarchical means that is one parent class is there and from there the property will be shared to the other classes, the same level. So there the dog and wolf are sharing the same properties from the carnivorous and the animal. So this is the hierarchical way. And another thing is there, that is the multiple inheritance. Okay, but still this is not possible in Java. So why this is not possible? That is the main thing. Okay, I am trying to explain that. Okay, but for that I have to share some of the picture first. Otherwise it will be confusing. Wait. আচ্ছা আচ্ছা ওটা পরেই করাবো আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে for the multiple case I have to share some of the picture before of that. So a picture is I have to take the picture, then I have to send it. So leave it for the time now. I am going for the another thing. Okay. Mm, this is the abstract class. Okay. So Hello, hello.
Yes, sir. So,
वो सब कोविड-19 वाला क्या आ रहे वो कौन है?
participant.
सारा भाई आ रहा है।
क्यों डिस्टर्ब करता है ये? क्यों आता है ये डिस्टर्ब करने के लिए? Oh, every day he is disturbing. Okay.
Sir, I think he has gone.
What?
पार्टिसिपेंट ही नहीं दिखा रहा है,
पार्टिसिपेंट दिखा रहा है?
उसमें शायद
आ
नहीं
गया
है,
सर।
अलग है।
फिर से आएगा। उसका काम नाम नहीं है, खाली डिस्टर्ब करने आ रहा है। Okay, छोड़ो। So next, we are moving for the abstract class, right? So I'm sharing this one. So can you see the screen of editor? No. Share. This one. Okay. So what is the abstract class? Hello. No. So what is the abstract class? Abstract class means sometimes it is required that whenever you are designing of the some of the project like this one, you are try to inherit some of the properties from the very super class to the another class like this. Meeting the one. Okay. So sometimes we cannot directly set the values of this methods. Sometimes we cannot exactly say the behavior, right? So suppose we are creating a class of animal. Okay, so whenever I am trying to create a class of animal, so physically you can say that is if I ask you some of the question that what the particular animal eats, so anybody can answer no. That's because so whenever I am saying the animal, so it may be there are any type of animals. Right? It may be the cat, it may be the dog, it may be the horse, it may be the monkey, whatever. So we cannot exactly say that what is the animal. So then, how can we say the what is the food habit or what are the other properties would be there? So that is the problem. So then, what we can do it? No, we can only declare that some of the properties will be there, but exactly what will be the properties? That is, it will obviously the animal means obviously it will eat something. So each property will be there. We can declare that it can eat something. And whenever we will extend that property to a particular concrete class, so that is the concept of coming, that is the abstract class and the concrete class, so that whenever we are declaring the basic properties with basic properties of the class, we cannot create the object as because if I say the object of animal, then you cannot mean anything. That object of animal means what animal? You can guess that what type of animal is it? No, you cannot guess. So that's why you have to extend that property to another class, and then we have to create the object of that. So before we are creating the concrete class, we cannot create an object. Right? So I have only said that if there is an animal class and if you trying to create the object of that, so there is no meaning. Is it? That's because there is the common properties will be only there, and you cannot guess that what type of animal it will be. Okay. Then it must be extend the property to another class. It may be some of the other concrete class. Which is the concrete class, or what is the concrete class? No, where we can assume, or where we can means mm, mm, means what I can say. You can say properly that this is the particular animal, and you can imagine that particular animal. If I say that is the animal, you cannot imagine a particular animal. But if I say that is a dog, so then you can imagine the exactly object of the animal, right? So, but still this is required. So why this is required? No, if this is required is because if there is any parent class and this is the abstract method, so what is the abstract? I'm writing. Actually, very difficult to explain.